On the 4th day of Christmas, my techies gave to me 4 service calls, 3 git commits, 2 unit tests, and a story and some pairing. Yeah.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 4th day of TECHmas. Today we're going to be talking about microservices. You probably heard this buzzword if you've been around for the last 4 years. It's one of those words that you can ask 20 developers what it means and you're going to get 25 different answers. It's great. But simply put, when you use a microservice architecture, you're going to design a single application as a collection of loosely coupled services. Now these services implement their own business capability. So service A will implement this rigid slice of the domain, service B will do this slice, and service C will do this slice. Now if you remember, the lyric of today is 4 service calls, and that kind of speaks to the way that all of these microservices are able to integrate with each other. So the 2 common patterns that you'll see when you want to orchestrate actions on an application scale and get these microservices talking to each other, and they are as follows. So you have HTTP request with the request response pattern using resource identifiers, and you have messaging approaches. Now, not to go too far in depth, when you go the HTTP request response route, you basically are using architectural styles like REST, which is representative state transfer, to make sure that you are building out endpoints in your application that services are able to ping to find out information that they need to know. So say I'm building Amazon.com, for example. I might have a microservice that's all about wish lists, and another one that's all about products, and another one that's all about orders. Now, orders doesn't know about products, but when they need to get that information, they can just ask the products microservice what they need to know. So products is in charge of orchestrating, facilitating, and managing all of the information about products. And when somebody says, hey, give me the information for 5 items with this barcode, products can say, well, here you go, and it can populate the views in Amazon.com. So I think the general thing that I want you all to get from the HTTP request and response approach is that it's a synchronous process. These microservices are pinging one another, and they're saying, hey, can I get this? And the other microservice is saying, well, here you go. Now the other approach is messaging, which I've seen become increasingly more popular. Basically, this can be done in an asynchronous fashion, and messages are sent from one microservice to another over some kind of lightweight bus management system. So say a new product got added. Maybe the product's microservice needs to put a message on a bus that the wish list is gonna take into consideration and say, okay, these items are in stock now. Let me notify the user, etc. So basically a microservice will say, hey, this happened, put a message wherever it needs to put it, and the other microservice can listen to that message and do what they need to do with that information. Cool? All right, so that was a very, very short introduction of what microservices are. This is something I'm still learning about today. I think it's a very valuable tool to have in your tool belt as a software developer. And I'm ready to learn more. So I hope you all do the same. Hope this helped. And guess what? Only 9 days to Christmas. Get excited. Thanks for watching.